Welcome back to the channel. I am in the middle of designing these cute little Scandinavian inspired village pendants for a banner for Christmas that I'm going to put on my mantle on top of my fireplace. And so far I have created two designs. I have created this cute little house that's inspired by Scandinavia, and it has this little wreath with this cute little bow. I also have created this barn, and it has two little Christmas trees right down here, then a star up here. And I am choosing to go with the red and canvas and this like light blue theme to go with it. So I'm not going to be able to show you every single one. I will do some of them really fast. Like for example, this one I will just run through really fast and just show you kind of like the highlights. But they all are made the same way, just like how my ornaments are all made the same way. And so I'm going to go slowly with this barn one right here and show you how to do it. Once you watch this video, you can do any of these designs, these pendants in this collection. So let's begin. Since this is such a dense design, I recommend having 2 pieces of tearaway stabilizer in your hoop. And so you're going to use a 5x7 hoop for these pendants. This design uses very little fabric. First of all, you need your base fabric. I am using canvas. And as you can see, I actually tried to iron my canvas and it curled. So I'll use this curly one as the back piece and this one as my front piece. And you'll need a piece of fabric for the base of the barn. I'm using red. And then also for the window up top, and I'm using yellow. So that is all you need to cut out. I am going to bring this to the machine and run the first stitch, and we'll just go over to the machine and do the rest of this design there. Now that our hoop is ready to go, the first stitch the machine will make is the placement stitch. This will outline the shape of our barn and show us exactly where the fabric needs to go. Just let the machine run through this step. It's simply giving us a guide, not a permanent stitch. Once it's finished, we'll be ready to lay down our fabric right on top of that outline. Next, we're going to cover the placement stitches with our base fabric. Make sure you place it right side up. So I'm using canvas here, which I think looks super cute with a Scandinavian design. Once it's smoothed into place, we'll move on to the next stitch. And this one is a double stitch that will tack the fabric down securely so that it's ready for you to be able to cut around it and not pull so much on those stitches. I'm going to hold off on trimming away the excess canvas fabric for now and save that step until the very end. Instead, I'm just going to move right into the next stitch, and this will be the placement stitch for the bottom half of the barn, and it will show us exactly where to lay down our next piece of fabric. Now grab your fabric for the bottom half of the barn and place it right side up over the placement stitches. To keep that Scandinavian look, I'm using a repeating color scheme throughout all my pendants, and so I'm choosing red, canvas, and this light blue. Once your fabric is positioned, go ahead and run the next stitch. This is another double stitch that will tack your fabric down securely for the rest of the design. Go ahead and remove the hoop from your embroidery machine and carefully trim around the applique fabric. This will be the bottom half of the barn. So I'm trimming away the excess red fabric here, following right along the stitch line. Just take your time and keep your scissors close to the stitches for a clean edge. Place your hoop back into the machine and run the next stitch. This will be the placement stitch for the window at the top of the barn. Once that's finished, take your fabric, I'm using yellow for mine, and lay it right side up over the placement stitches. Then run the following stitch, which will do a double tack down to hold the fabric securely in place. Just like before, remove the hoop from your machine and carefully trim around the applique fabric. Get as close as you can to the stitch line without cutting through it. This will clean up the window shape and remove the extra fabric, yellow in my case. The next few stitches are going to add the fine details, and this is my favorite part of the process, watching the design come to life. Here you'll see that I included a Scandinavian style leaves stretched across the top of the barn with a star in the center. Then along the bottom, the machine will add 2 evergreen trees, as well as that classic crossbeam detail that really completes the barn look. It's time to attach the back. So take the hoop, flip it over, grab your other piece, right side facing up, and place it over the design and use tape to secure it in place. All right, flip it over, press it down, and take it to the machine, and it's gonna do a double stitch around the barn. It's important at this time to switch out your bobbin thread. Your bobbin thread should really match your upper thread. And I'm using this like robin blue, or I'm not sure, it's just a like nice like light blue color. And it's kind of Scandinavian-esque. This goes with my theme for my pendants. All right, so it is all the way in. And so they're matching, and I'm gonna put my design in and do the next stitch. Now it's time to trim away the excess canvas, both on the front of the hoop and on the back. Just follow along the tack down stitches as your guide. Since canvas is a thicker fabric, take your time and use small snips to carefully work your way around. The closer you can get to the stitch line, the cleaner your final design will look. Here comes the final stitch of the design, a satin stitch that goes all the way around the barn. I love this part because it really frames everything. The blue thread makes the colors pop and ties the whole Scandinavian look together just beautifully. Here comes the fun part, the finishing touches. Go ahead and remove your project from the 5x7 hoop, then carefully tear away the stabilizer from the back and snip off any extra thread tails. This will give your barn pendant a nice, clean finish, ready to hang on your Christmas banner. Here is my Scandinavian-inspired house for Christmas, and this is my barn right here. And as you can see, it's stitched up pretty easily. There's only 2 appliques for each one. This one has the door and the windows. This one has just the bottom half of the barn and the window. And I am gonna make some more of these designs, and I'm gonna use a long pretty string, and I'm gonna put it on my banister for Christmas. So super easy. You do need a 5x7 hoop or larger to do this design. And it has a satin stitch that goes around here at the bottom, as you can see. And you do want to be, they are a little delicate. So they're not like kid toys or anything like that, but they'll last and stuff like that. So this is what the back looks like. And take some of that stuff out there. And of course, what the front looks like. They are super cute. Thanks for watching. This design is free on my Patreon. Check the link below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more creative fun.